Life is short, but the vast majority of human beings live as if they possess an infinite reservoir of days. Let us begin with the brutal math of reality. The average human existence lasts approximately 30,000 days. That is the entirety of your allocation on this earth. If you are currently 30 years old, you have already burned through 11,000 of those days. They are gone, dissolved into the abyss of history, never to be reclaimed. Yet, you continue to whisper to yourself that you will execute your grand vision someday. Someday is a dangerous, poisonous word. It is a psychological trap that tricks your brain into believing that time is cheap and endless. When you study the private journals of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic master Seneca, you uncover a cold, clinical truth. Seneca famously wrote that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. You are not running out of time. You are actively leaking your time to trivialities, small minds, and meaningless corporate routines. Let us begin the execution. Consider the strange psychology of time perception. Remember when you were a child, when a single summer felt like an eternity, and a single day was filled with endless depth. Yet today, as an adult, entire years vanish in what feels like a few fleeting months. This is not an accident of nature, it is a biological trap. Your brain measures time by recording novel, unexpected data points. When you were young, everything was new, and your mind was forced to pay intense attention. But as an adult, you fall into the comfortable anesthesia of routine. You eat the exact same breakfast, take the exact same route to work, answer the exact same superficial emails, and numb your brain with the exact same digital noise every single evening. Your brain simply skips recording these redundant moments. You are living in a fog of time blindness, burning through your finite 30,000 days without even being awake. Now, you might ask yourself, but is routine not necessary for professional stability? How can I break my habits when I have corporate obligations? Is it not my duty to remain consistent in my daily work? That is the exact voice of your middle-class programming speaking. You confuse consistency with mindless hypnosis. You do not need to abandon your duty. You need to awaken your cognitive focus. Force your brain into high-resolution mode. Change your environment. Master a difficult new skill every single month. And stop letting your days blur into an unrecognizable gray mass. When you introduce deliberate friction into your routine, you force your brain to record reality again, expanding your experience of time. Let us apply the cold logic of the deathbed audit. Imagine yourself at 90 years old, lying in a quiet room, looking back at the wreckage of your choices. In that final, freezing moment of clarity, will you care about the extra hour you spent polishing a corporate presentation to please an indifferent manager? Will you care about the petty arguments you had with small minds, or the approval you chased from people you did not even respect? Suddenly, your priorities become crystal clear. The most dangerous mistake ordinary people make is confusing being busy with being impactful. Busyness is the refuge of the coward. It allows you to feel productive while avoiding the terrifying, deep work required to build a real empire. Knowing what to eliminate is infinitely more valuable than knowing what to add. You must construct a cold avoid list. Write down everything that demands your energy today. Identify the top 3 critical levers, and treat everything else as an active enemy to your sovereignty. Consider the bioeconomics of energy versus time. Time management is completely useless if your energy is drained. You can have 12 open hours in a day, but if your executive focus is exhausted, those hours are worth 0. Look at the trap of lifestyle inflation. As an ambitious individual increases their income, they immediately expand their lifestyle. They buy a larger house that requires more maintenance, a fancier vehicle that demands more worry, and enter an expensive neighborhood that requires a longer commute. They proudly announce that they can afford everything they want. In reality, they have simply constructed a larger, more expensive prison. They have traded their time affluence for material vanity. True wealth is not the ability to buy objects. True wealth is the absolute freedom over your hours. Understand the 90-second rule of emotional quarantine. when a crisis strikes, or when a toxic person attempts to provoke your anger. The physical chemicals of that emotion last for exactly 90 seconds in your bloodstream. That is a biological surge. After those 90 seconds pass, any remaining rage, resentment, or panic is a voluntary choice you are making. You are choosing to keep the fire alive. You are feeding your own focus to the flame. When an insult or a setback occurs, lock your jaw and observe the wave without articulating a single word. Let the chemical storm dissipate inside the vacuum of your silence. A sovereign mind does not bleed for shadows. Stop living as a spectator in your own finite existence. Stop trading your irreplaceable days for cheap comfort and public applause. Understand the cold math of your 30,000 days. Enforce the quarantine against non-essential noise, and rule the empire within your own skull. Turn off the noise, enforce the code, and reclaim your supreme sovereignty.